Good morning. I've got a weird suggestion, help item for you. It's something that it's counterintuitive. It's not what we think it is or how it will play out. And that is being authentic, being vulnerable. It's kind of a secret power. And I want to encourage you today to be authentic with others. It's going to accomplish two things. One, it's going to decrease anxiety. Because what anxiety is thinking up all these dream scenarios that don't necessarily exist, but we think might exist, and then we become worried about them. And there are 1,000 of these rolling around in our minds every second. And if you're an anxious person, you know that. So one thing that being vulnerable, being authentic with others, and being transparent is about our own fears, about what's going on for ourselves, is that it actually builds confidence. Because one thing that holds us back from confidence is believing that when we put ourselves out there, we're going to have really negative feedback, that people are going to react to it very negatively. And most of the time that's not true. Every once in a while that is true, but most of the time it's not true. And so when we put ourselves out there, then what we can find is that people are reacting really well to this. How many times have you seen, a video on social media or you've seen a documentary or whatever it is, and somebody talks about something really personable, and when they talk about it, they're embarrassed and they have some shame about it, but when they share it, your respect for them shoots through the roof. And you say to yourself, I wish I could do that. It takes so much courage. It takes so much bravery. It's the same with you. So as you practice vulnerability and transparency and authenticity, what's going to happen is people are actually going to be more impressed with you, and you're going to hear about that every once in a while, and your confidence will go up. Now, the second thing that authenticity, transparency, vulnerability, and they're not the same thing, but I'm using words to kind of describe an idea here. That the more you practice that, the closer you draw others to yourself. Because we connect with others when they are authentic. Again, think about the people that you appreciate most in your life. They're the people that are real to you. Are they not? At least if you have deep friendships, they are. If you only enjoy drinking with people, then you've got to work on some depth to yourself. Having said that, the people that I love, think about the last time somebody, maybe you were in an argument with somebody, and they turned around. Maybe this hasn't happened to you. It happens to me every once in a while, where somebody, they're really struggling with something, and they just simply drop a barrier and they go, Mark, I'm struggling. I've got this fear and I'm worried about this and I'm struggling with this. And the first thing I want to do when somebody shares that, especially if there's been some kind of frustration in the relationship, is that I want to move towards, I want to help them on some level. And when you are authentic, when you're real with people, they feel connected with you. Because so many people have all these barriers that we're putting up, and it's so hard to get through to people and to be ourselves with people. And we're afraid to do this because we're afraid of what people's reactions are. Not only are you going to get better reactions from others, but when you do this, people are going to feel close to you. They're going to feel drawn to you. And I want you to, here's a really important key if you're going to do this well. Practice it with people who are safe in your life. If you practice this with somebody who you always get into fights with, it's not going to work out really well for you, okay? The first few times you practice authenticity, transparency, vulnerability, what you want to do in openness, what you want to do is practice with people who are safe, people who are going to encourage you, people who are going to have a good reaction to this, rather than a negative reaction. So you know who that is in your life, or at least you know who the unsafe people are. This is, again, why it's so important, at least it wasn't for me, to find coaches and mentors in my life, because those people, I was paying them to do this for me, right? But it built up my confidence in some levels so I could start doing with others. And as I started seeing this in different ways, my confidence grew and other people were drawn in a little bit more. And this is one of my favorite things in the world. It was something that was terrifying to me before. I remember one time telling somebody that I'd lied to them, and I felt awful about it. I was like, this person is going to lose all respect for me. I'm never going to have a relationship with this person again. That was going through my head, and I shared it with them. And this person came back to me and said, Mark, no one ever does this. You're amazing. And I was floored by it, that they had that kind of reaction. So practice this. Practice it with safe people to start off with, but then practice it. And as you share what's going on for yourself, there's such a thing as too much information, but for most people, you don't have to worry about sharing too much information. At the start, you simply need to share something. As you practice this, you're going to draw people in, your anxiety is going to start to diminish, and you're going to build confidence, and that's going to lead to success in any area you want. I'm excited for you today. Enjoy it.